Welcome to Crosstown Cardboard, episode 43, with my great friend Craig at New York City Sports Cards and myself, Carmine's Cards, at Carmine's Cards on Instagram. And Craig, for episode 43, you, as you so often do, came up with a great title. You are calling it Let's Just Remember to Have Fun. And that's partially because with the National coming up, it'll be happening right after we drop this episode. There's a lot of pressure. You know, people are traveling, they're putting money on the line in their cards, trying to sell them, possibly trying to make some big purchases, trading, you're spending for a hotel, a plane flight. There's a lot of things that could get you stressed out. So we wanted to just say, let's just remember to have fun as a reminder to ourselves and others as well. So episode 43, in honor of Troy Polamalu, one of the best NFL players of all time, of course, an incredible safety. Craig, why did you want to make that our title for episode 43? And please then talk about your recent trip and how cards were involved.
Carmine, I can't believe after 43 episodes, we're going to meet for the first time in person. Now, you always people talk about how you love the hobby for the relationships and the friendships, which is 100% true. I mean, how cool is this? I'm talking to you every week for almost a year. And here we are. We got our Wolfpack trade night, Friday night, 6 p.m. at the Crown Plaza. We got dinner. I'm sure we're going to walk the floor together. We'll go on the hunt for some Knicks cards. That'll be a good time. But yeah, just remember to have fun because it's such a big event like this. There's so much lead up. There's so much emotional excitement. So I was thinking about growing up, going to the card shows on Long Island. I would go to the one at like the Hilton in Farmingdale. There was always the Hofstra shows, and how excited I was just to go to a show and look at the cards and maybe rip some packs. See some of my favorite vendors and dealers, Chuck included, which we've referenced on here before, who I'm sure will be there. And, you know, I just want to remember that at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a hobby. So let's just go have fun.
Yes.
Boom.
Have fun. Enjoy the hobby. Don't put too much pressure, if you can, on yourself or on making the most of the situation. I mean, like we talked about just in our recent bonus episode with all of our Wolfpack members together, and we were talking about what's a successful national look like for you. And to me, just being there, like, you know, it's something like that. It can't really go wrong to me. I mean, just because of going in there with lowered expectations. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to be exceeded. Just meeting you, Craig, meeting the rest of our Wolfpack members, all the people we talked to on Instagram, Facebook, going out to eat, looking at cards for 5 days. You know, I think that's the most important thing, but it's much easier said than done. And it helps that I got that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson dual autograph tucked away before the show. And you had some of this card fun on your recent vacation. Somehow you always find a card store, even though that's not the main goal at the beginning of the trip.
It's funny how things really haven't changed, because when I would go on vacation with my family, we didn't really travel internationally. We traveled to cities around the country. We would go to San Francisco, Milwaukee, Chicago, and looking for card stores was definitely always a part of the equation. So my mom likes to reference this card store we went to once when we were in Milwaukee. You look it up on Google, you look up the address, and some suburb in Milwaukee was this card shop, and this woman was just like running it out of her house. It was a pretty cool experience that my mom loves to talk about.
Wow. Okay. And you guys tracked it down and went there back in the day.
Yeah, it was incredible. I remember it was probably like 2006 Topps type baseball products I remember opening at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I know. But anyway, so I was just in Florida, a little getaway, rest and recovery with my wife. Get away for a little bit, clear my head before we got this amazing trip to National in Chicago. So we were driving back to the airport. We were passing by Naples. As a card collector, I'm going to Google baseball card shops, Naples, Florida.
Right.
This one came up, East-West Collectibles. I hope I got that right. But, it's kind of do a basic check. Does it have an address? Does it have a substantial
amount? Does it have an address? That's a good start.
Right? How to know if a card shop you look up is legit. It has an address. It has a substantial amount of reviews, like 3, 4 Google reviews. They're like, all right, like this place probably doesn't really exist, but substantial amount of reviews. And the kicker, like icing on the cake, is the Instagram. You find the Instagram, you find the shop. I'm like, Rachel, I think we found a winner. We're gonna have to stop here. So,
yeah. And you're right. You're right. By the way, East West Sports Cards and Collectibles in Naples, Florida.
There you go. East West Card Shop. So we stopped in. It was in a shopping center. It was just a lovely experience. Very nice, big, spacious shop. I went to this card shop in Atlanta once. I'm not going to name any names, but it was just a horrible experience start to finish and left a bad taste in my mouth. This was quite the contrary. Big, spacious shop. They got their singles. They got their wax. They got their dollar boxes in the middle, value boxes. Some part of the store is coins. They got all this nice frame signed jerseys up around, and they had a cool selection. So I met Luke, who is actually from Jersey, but he works at that shop. So we were just chopping it up. They're going to be set up in Chicago, and I was looking at stuff to buy. It's like, oh, take a look at that box right there. There's some cool stuff there. So I managed to find 3 things out of that box that I liked.
All right. Let's look at it.
Adam Vinatieri, 2-color patch.
Nice.
Game worn out of 25.
Most clutch kicker ever, a lot of people say.
Maybe the GOAT.
Could be, although Justin Tucker,
yeah.
But he, he hasn't kicked game-winning field goals in Super Bowls or major games like that. So a little bit different.
Yeah, this is a kind of a random one, but I like the patch. George Kittle, not game worn, but it is out of 4. And with those 2 football cards, I have tripled my football inventory.
Now, Craig, you do not usually go for player worn. So what changed about that George Kittle card that made you want to get that one?
I didn't want to walk out of the store empty-handed. I felt like I made enough conversation. I got to get something here. And it was a cool-looking patch. And It's out of 4. And like I said, I tripled my football inventory with those 2 pickups.
Yeah, wow. Look at you getting ready for the National. Great, great preparation.
And then you got to love finding a PC card all the way down in the South in another state. 2014-15 Select Die Cut autograph out of 25. Walt Clyde Frazier.
Oh, wow.
Love that.
That's nice. That's nice.
It's a cool die cut, actually, you could see. I've never seen this one before. It's out of 25, so it's pretty rare. It is a sticker, but that's okay. I'll take it. So nice little 3-card lot, $50. We'll take that all day.
I haven't seen that either with the way the corners are like cut out of the card. That's pretty cool.
And I realized that I'm a Walt Clyde Frazier autograph collector, so I guess I got something else I'll be looking for.
How many Walt autos do you have, do you think?
Probably close to 10 now.
Okay. Yeah. I think I only have like 2. Oh, one of those I gave you for Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, there you go. Found some cards on vacation.
All right. So this theme, and that's great that those, for $50, that's pretty awesome. How can you lose at that? So our theme, Craig, episode 43, let's just remember to have fun. Can you touch a little bit on your own mentality about that theme heading into the National here this week? Like what's your focus on how you're actually going to remember to have fun when we're going to be in a chaotic atmosphere, thousands probably of tables and massive room and so much social stimulation. What are you going to do to like center yourself and remember this is a fun experience?
Really try to do as much as I can in 2 days. So go to the show all day, go straight from the airport to the show, take a quick lunch break. As soon as the show's over, hit a trade night. As soon as our dinners, we got a dinner, Wolfpack dinner. When that's over, maybe hit a casino. I don't know, something around there. Maybe another trade night. Just be out there. Get enough sleep that you can survive the next day. But I want to do as much as I can in these 2 days, of course. And then drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water to stay feeling good and having fun. I would say just try to make moves.
Yeah. Okay. So you're trying to maximize your time. Is really how you're gonna do this.
I think everyone that buys and sells and trades, you just kind of get a rush out of making a successful transaction, whether you're buying, selling, or trading. I love partial trades. So again, I'm relying on the mystery that we always talk about. You don't know what you're gonna leave the show with, but you're gonna turn some inventory over, and I'm pretty excited to see what that is.
Yeah. Who knows? You're the master of seeing situations happen and then capitalizing on them, when the moment strikes without knowing what was going to happen going into it.
How are you going to have fun?
I am kind of in a different boat because I'm going to be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's, every day of the show, and then come back Monday. So I'm viewing it a little bit more as a marathon than a sprint. And the way I'm going to try to remember to have fun and not put as much pressure on the situation is just like, this is a can't lose situation. Everything's already paid for as far as my hotel, pass to get in, which, by the way, shout out to Big Ken at Sports Card Lessons, one of my roommates, along with Rob, the sports card therapist. Ken hit me up the other day and said, hey, I have a buddy who's selling a dealer pass, $75. Do you want it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Because if I was going to pay to be a regular patron at the National, it would have been $25 per day. That would have been $125. And now I'm getting a deal to be a dealer and getting more access. So that's even better. And I think just taking it slow, seeing what happens, not forcing the situation, looking around, and then pouncing when the time is right. But like, it's a little bit different than yours where you can just go balls to the wall, for 2 days. If I plan to do that, I don't know if I'll be able to hold up for 5 days and maybe take 1 day off. For example, I know our boys, the Cousins at Cousins Collectibles, and, Cousin Tony and Cousin Oz, they're taking Saturday off from the show, or at least a few hours, to go get deep dish pizza in Chicago, like half an hour away from the show. So
great move.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great move because it's not just going to the show and that's it. I mean, you're in Chicago, one of the best American cities. And so you might as well explore what that city has to offer. So maybe I'll try to tag along with, I don't want to invite myself.
It kind of sounds like it, but how could they say no?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, after our Wolfpack podcast a few days ago, Tony and Oz and myself just talked for like another half hour, about cards, about life changes that we're going through and stuff like that. So, I think just I'm going to try to remember, pace myself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to make moves, because sometimes I know for myself, I can get anxious and a little bit like helter-skelter, scatterbrain, trying to make something happen. Like, oh, I haven't made any moves, and man, I came all this way and I paid all this money, and just like, but it's great no matter what happens. So I'm trying to just take a deep breath and realize that, how can you have an unsuccessful card show if you're not, I'm not set up there. Like, I don't need to make my money back. Nothing like that. Like, what I've spent, I already planned on spending. So
I like what you said. It's a no lose situation. But some of my favorite days in New York City, especially when I was new to the city, I would just pick a general direction and I would walk that way with no real plan. I would, swerve around this street, check out what was on this block, and ultimately you end up just seeing a lot just by going out there and walking around. So I've really just been training for this National for the last decade, living in New York City, without a car, walking everywhere. But I'm not putting pressure on myself, like you said, to make deals, but I do want to try to see everything that the show has to offer. Hit every table, every row, every corporate that's going to be there, and see as many people as I can, of course.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna, I'm saying this to myself now that I'm gonna take it slow, and then when I get there, it's like Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, and
True.
That's what the National, I'm sure, is gonna do.
This is all just talk, but being active hobby participants prepares you for whatever. I'm a little nervous because I haven't been to a show since, it's been a while, a few months at least.
What was your last show?
I can't even remember. Something upstate New York. I'm not really quite sure. Maybe February. It's been a while for me.
Okay.
Pumped.
Yeah.
Very pumped.
It's been a while for me too. My last show was Burbank, also in February. So, yeah. So what do you think about possibly, sweet talking Rob and Ken, or watching their table while they go out to the floor because they're both set up as dealers and getting that dealer experience at least for a few minutes, because we were talking about this before we started recording that you're trying to make that happen.
I would love that. I am not by any means saying, hey, can someone get me a dealer's pass? All I want is like 15 minutes as a dealer is all I'll ask for. Any more than that is just gravy. Just see what it's like from a dealer's perspective at the biggest show. The cool thing about being a dealer anywhere is you get to see a lot of what's not out on the floor. People come to you. You know, someone may have a cool Knicks patch that has no interest in it at all, and it's just meant for you or I.
So you're saying that you want to be a dealer so that you have more buying opportunities, which is not what I would have thought. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I've been a dealer, a bunch of times too, and that actually makes a lot of sense, but wouldn't be maybe what you'd originally think about why you'd set up as a dealer.
No, just a thought, but I just want to see what it's like at the biggest show. Wow, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I think that, that would be a great reason. I think it's also cool to just knock it off the bucket list and be like, yeah, I was set up for a few minutes at the biggest sports card show, and but I'm interested to see what the buying is going to be like. I mean, yeah, that there are many reasons to set up as a dealer, but like at this show, it's like, it probably feels like, and I have to ask Rob and Ken, but it probably feels like I made it type of moment where you're like,
I didn't think of it like that, but I can go with it.
Yeah.
Got to make sure we have a clean DAP when we meet for the first time. That's essential.
What are we going to do? Are we going to, should we, I mean, I know we're not going to go in
for planning it. Just I feel it in the moment, but I do want to highlight something card related that I think Messi is going to be a hot name that people are talking about. How can it not be? How can
yes, big news for your PC also.
So not that big of a PC to be honest, but regardless, Messi hot right now. Obviously won the World Cup, playing for Inter Miami, a goal in his first game, another 2 goals tonight, unbelievable.
And the goal in the first game was a game winner.
Winner in the 94th minute. So it's great to see
the stars who were at that game, Kim Kardashian, LeBron, bunch of others.
So this is really my whole Messi PC. I got 4 Messi cards, and now I'm just figuring out which are coming with me, which are staying.
Have you changed your thoughts at all based on the excitement and the hype around Messi right now?
No, I am keep coming with me.
Okay. But that was your plan all along, right?
Yes. I'm taking
which one are you bringing with you? Why that one, and why are you leaving the others behind?
Taking the gold refractor. It's pretty liquid card. You could find comparable ones at the very least. Beautiful looking card. Actually, I love the aesthetics, but based on what I'm looking for, I might need something like this. And the ones that I'm keeping, because just the iconic Prism World Cup 2014, 2022, and another 2014.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. Gotcha. And please refresh everyone's memory of exactly the card that the big card that you're trying to target.
Ooh, 2017 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor Messi out of 50. That's the one.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for making me put it out there again.
What about I'm just trying to
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going with an open mind. Actually, there was someone who I was DMing whose name is Pretzel Cards.
Oh yeah. I was talking to him too.
Pretzel's Cards. So I messaged his story because he's setting up a national and he had a bunch of inventory, and I said, oh, we're definitely getting a deal done. We have a lot of overlap. It's inevitable. First message we ever had. Turns out he's a listener of the pod. So that was pretty cool. Shout out Pretzel's Cards. Go visit Pretzel's Cards at booth 788. Boom.
Yeah, he messaged me as well. And there's been a lot of people that I've sent the trade night little flyer that our cousins made up. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see this turnout that the hobby hangout provides for everybody to come through. And even if you don't make a deal, just I think Rob was saying that he's not even bringing cards to our trade night because he plans on talking to so many people.
Fair. I'll have all my stuff. I got to catch a flight, 9:30 flight, but I'm gonna be there for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Carmine, I think we've said all we need to say about the national at this point.
Yeah.
You got an early flight to catch.
Yeah, and I'm gonna meet Big Ken at the airport right in the morning. My flight is at 6 a.m., which anybody who's taking a flight that early, you get a little more hair on your chest because you have to wake up, at like 3, and then you get ready, and then you leave at like 4 or what, depending on what airport you're at. But yeah, just a reminder about the Wolfpack Trade Night and Hobby Hangout. If you're planning on going to the National, again, it's happening the Friday of National, which is this week, of course, 6 to 9 p.m. at Crown Plaza, directly across the street from the National. Cash bar, live DJ, giveaways, possibly dancing, and more. So we'll see. We know Cousin Oz is gonna whip out the moonwalk, his legendary move. So, but yeah, I mean, just can't wait. Just can't wait to meet so many different people and see what deals transpire. And then by this time next week, we'll be recapping everything. And who the heck knows what may have happened by the time we record again.
Can't wait. Very excited. See you in a couple days for the first time. I hope someone's listening to this on the way to National. Hopefully it fires you up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I like listening to hobby content before shows.
Yeah, me too. And man, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to first of all figure out what handshake we're gonna do when we first see each other. But more importantly, like actually meeting, and getting like a real feel for the other person rather than just in this small little box.
Yeah.
On the screen that we've been trapped in for,
sometimes smaller, sometimes even smaller when we have a guest.
I know, and then I really don't get any feel for the other person. So I'm excited.
See you then. Safe travels, everyone.
Yep. All right, bro.
Peace.